So let me give y'all an idea of what she did. So she's on stage speaking, and in the middle of her speech, she just stops and she says, I want to just thank my beautiful husband. He's so delicious, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he does this and that, not from a financial perspective, but like what he does to support her. So I'm like, damn, that's dope. Like, you in the middle of the keynote and you like stop just to
Commercial break.
To think about, to salute your husband,
Yep.
right? Now, bruh on the other side of the room, but he's, you know what I'm saying? And so then there's a moment in the middle of her speech where she says, she gets thirsty. And she says, baby, could you give me some water?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jeremy Anderson's camp, they ready. I see dude come flying.
He did hurdles.
He done jumped over chairs. This is Jeremy Anderson. So he doing what he's supposed to do. Lisa said, could you get that to my husband? I'm not gonna lie. I was talking to them earlier about just the idea of speaking and how serious I take it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I think that I was telling them there's a difference between a speaker, a communicator, and an orator.
Yep.
And I think I'm in that communicator spot right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Where I'm a good communicator. And I just think the oration takes time and experience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I watched Lisa Nichols orate. Right? But the dope part about what she came to me and she told me something. She said, I was watching you. And I told my husband he should watch you.
Mm-hmm.
She said, because you did something phenomenal that I like, that I haven't really seen too often. She said, you spoke, and then you navigated the audience through what you just did to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you did it again.
Yep.
And again. Getting the response that you wanted, and then explaining to them why they responded that way.
Yep.
She said, that is good. She said so great. She said, that is delicious. That's what she said. She's such a vibe. And she said, honestly, that made me not have to come teach.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to just go into storytelling.
Yep. And sit with them.
And sit on it. So she was like, I want to tell you thank you. And so that did a lot for me, bro. Because, you know, I remember watching her for The Secret for the first time ever hearing about it when The Secret came on, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's my lady's mentor as well. So, and the next thing she said to me was, man, I want us to work together. She's like, I want us to work. She said, I know we can find a way.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? She was like, I know we can find a way. And so that was real dope to me, man. Also, it was just dope having my lady with me.
Yeah.
You know
holding it down, recording.
Yeah, that was dope. Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm starting to see why, like, it's so cool to just have a lady, dog, that you just rock out with.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to really see. I told her this weekend, I said, man, I feel like we starting to click.
Mm-hmm.
You know, past just we back together.
Yeah.
You know, we back together, we vibing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I feel like we starting to click now. You know what I'm saying? And the dope part about it, like, I haven't been trying to force nothing. You know, we just letting it, you know what I'm saying? So that's been real dope. Yeah, man, so dope weekend. Let's get to it.
Lisa is such a warm hug. She's the epitome of
Lisa is the epitome of a warm hug. Like, I'm talking about just good energy.
And actually, you know what? Shout out to her husband. I connected with him.
No, listen. So let me tell you something. So she did something this week, bro, that I think this generation miss.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember my girl told me something one time when she was with her in L.A. And she was like, you know, the way that Lisa talks to her husband and the way that she lights up when she see him, and she was like, she be telling the girl, you know, about how to deal with their man or whatever. And I was like, I bet that's cool. She was like, nah, babe, it's different.
Yeah.
She was like, I ain't never seen it like that before.
Yeah.
So, you know how you listen to it, you like, all right, you know, I ain't really put too much into it. But what she did this weekend, I said, oh yeah, I get it. So let me give y'all an idea of what she did. So she's on stage speaking, and in the middle of her speech, she just stops and she says, I want to just thank my beautiful husband. He's so delicious, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he does this and that, not from a financial perspective, but like what he does to support her. So I'm like, damn, that's dope. Like, you're in the middle of the keynote and you like stop just to
Commercial break.
to think about, to salute your husband,
Yep.
right? Now, bruh on the other side of the room, but he's, you know what I'm saying? And so then there's a moment in the middle of her speech where she says, she gets thirsty. And she says, baby, could you give me some water?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jeremy Anderson's camp, they ready. I see dude come flying.
He did hurdles.
He done jumped over chairs. This is Jeremy Anderson. So he doing what he's supposed to do. Lisa said, could you get that to my husband?
And the whole crowd.
I said, oh my God. Oh my God.
So he could bring it to her.
So he could bring, let me finish. She said, could you get that to my husband so he could bring it to me? And in that moment, bro, I said, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people might don't get that, but I got it. And I think we got it. It was, I will not give another man an opportunity to serve me when my man is right there. You feel me? I want him to know that. I want him to know.
And he was working.
And bruh, look, listen, his whole energy shift. Like he got up, he got the water, he bring it to, bruh got his camera and got on the floor and started recording the whole while. Everywhere she went, even like bumping into you sometimes, right? And I was just like, oh.
On the floor.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. And then the next thing that happened was, she on the stage, she says, baby, come help me down.
Mm-hmm.
He grab her, she get on, I said, oh, this is different. And what I learned from that, in that moment, it was just like, there's a level of each one of us being able to stay in our power, but also be submissive and cater to our person.
And it don't diminish you.
And it does not diminish you. It did not make him lesser of a man crawling on the floor, taking shots at his lady. It did not make him lesser of a man for his lady to say, hey, could you get that water and give it to my dude right there? Dude like here. She like, could you get that? No, I'm lying. She said, thank you, but could you give that to my husband and let my husband bring it to me?
Crazy.
And bro didn't waste no time. Bro got up, opened it.
Yep.
I said, ooh.
Different level of adoration.
That's a different level, bro. And even me, I had never seen nothing like that before.
Yeah. And
it made sense to me how and then the next thing was like, while me, her, and Nat was talking, I watched how like she looked for him and made, like when he was coming, like how she lit up. And I said, oh, she really love him.
Yeah.
That's different right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's different right there. And she said something, she was like, it took me so many years to become the woman that was made to be his wife or something like that. And I was just like, yo, that is insane.
This ain't just happened yesterday.
This is an accumulation of, like, I'm not worrying about social media. I'm not worrying about how this look. I'm worried about me and my man, me and my partner. And for him, cause he's a tall man. For him, bro, and I'm just looking at this man now I'm not gonna lie, when my lady doing stuff, I immediately just pull out the camera and do what I got, cause I'm a content creator. But to see that level of admiration and, bro, it was just different, bro. So I'm not gonna lie, like that was I'm not the person to get in this generation, I don't get into all that. I just know that was something I had never seen.
Yeah, no, that's real.
And it made me just look at like me and my lady different.